Welcome back everybody to Extreme Offroad Silly Builds, and today we're dealing with the 1987 Porsche number 203 Porsche AG 961. So this now has 1,441 horsepower, 1,347 pounds-feet of torque from a 4.6 litre twin turbocharged hybrid V8. And it now weighs 2,446 pounds, still has its all-wheel drive system, but it now has off-road tyres and rally suspension, and it can now do 0 to 16 a very impressive 1.833 seconds, 0 to 103.183 seconds, and going to a top speed of 253 miles an hour. So yeah, those are very impressive numbers, and obviously having all-wheel drive standard will help this car. Also, what will help is the fact that it has aerodynamic downforce working down on that body, being a racing vehicle. Now, obviously, it wasn't meant for going, off-roading in any kind of way, but it should still prove pretty damn quick, as has been the case with other cars on this series that aren't meant for going off-roading. So, yeah. As you can see, 40 down the sharpish already. Which vehicle is going to really come down to whether it's going to be controllable or not. Because yes, it's got the power, the lack of weight, the downforce, and the acceleration and such, but if it's not controllable, that's all for nothing, quite frankly. So, yeah, which we kind of found out with the Honda ZGT in the previous episode, which had the numbers on its side, but it just wasn't consistent enough to be quick, and therefore joins the Honda Acme at the bottom of the leaderboard. So, hopefully with this being the first Porsche, that won't be the case for this one. Okay, so far, just missed a checkpoint, getting off that jump incorrectly. Came up there at a entirely wrong angle. Now I've got my vehicles. The landings there very nicely, which for again for a racing car is surprising. There. Hopefully we're able to catch it. Shouldn't slow them down too much. The car is getting away from us here and there, which is not helping at all. It's just because of how ridiculously fast it is at times. Yeah, it's not got the highest top speed ever, but those acceleration times are extremely rapid, and therefore it doesn't take any time at all for it to get 100 miles an hour plus. Dealing with some tricky corners and jumps and the like is not entirely helpful. You get the relatable things such as too much acceleration. And yeah, this is far from the top of the leaderboard, but it's not the lowest by any stretch of the imagination at 2 minutes 21.875. That puts us in 5th place, knocking the Lamborghini Tamario out of the top 5. Also knocks the GR-GT prototype out of the top 10. And it's only 0.7 of a second off the time of the Mazda Fiori, which is obviously another racing car. Although it still is way off base the likes of the Nissan GT-R Nismo, which is more than nearly a second, more than a second and a half quicker than us. The Ferrari F80, which is still only one of 2 other vehicles to be below the 2 minute 20 mark, and the Alfa Romeo SE048 SP still reigns supreme with a time of 2 minutes 14.001. So yeah, nearly 8 seconds quicker than this, which just shows how monumentally rapid that racing car was as well. But it is showing up that this series again is heavily leaning towards racing vehicles doing really, really well on this series. Obviously that has not always been the case in terms of, like supercars or sports cars, which generally more around the top 10. But yeah, so far the top 5 is predominantly dominated by racing cars at the moment, with 3 out of 5 being in that category. And then you obviously got a hypercar with the F80, and then a supercar with the GT-R Nismo. So yeah, definitely more performance orientated vehicles are dominating this series so far over, you know, off-road vehicles and the like, but that's kind of to be expected. You know, this game does work in those kind of cars' favours, especially when you do add in off-road tyres and off-road suspension and such. So yeah, but this car, even though it had its moments of getting away from us, still was really quick, especially in terms of acceleration. And yeah, overall it was reasonably controllable. If it was just, you know, 100% controllable, it would have been even faster. I imagine it would have challenged the top 3 at the very least. So yeah, but nonetheless, thank you for watching. This car is part of the car pass, so you needed that to get this vehicle, but it is, yeah, a worthy entry to the car pass. And yeah, overall that DLC is currently still well worth getting. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.